High schoolers need to feel like they belong, that they matter, that people know them by name, not just as a number or as a person in the seat, but as someone who has an identity, who has value, who has worth, someone who can feel like they're cared for. And a lot of the times we adults need to step in and be those people that show them that they do have worth. And that's an opportunity that I get to be a part of, and I try to encourage as many people as I can to be there for students, whether it's at school or different organizations like the Y, the Community Center. How can we be a part of making these kids know that they are loved, that they are seen, that they have a value and an opinion that matters in this world? I serve as a Young Life leader because I love being able to see the impact Jesus makes in students' lives inside the schools, but also outside the school. And it's a really unique opportunity to not only present the gospel to students, but in turn present gospel to the families and the school teachers and the faculty at the schools that you're a part of.
I actually got connected from Devontae one day in the middle of class. He asked me, he was, you know what Young Life is? And I was shocked because I didn't know there was a Young Life here or not. And he asked me if I wanted to come that Monday night, and I said yes. And so that's why I started coming to Clover Parks. My biggest would be Jeremy. I'm able to have a lot of conversations with him late at night after club or after squad. And he sits there and listens, and he gives me advice. And it helps me build a story, helps me live life because he gives me the advice that I need at that time. My freshman year, I had a friend, his mom was a Young Life leader at the place I was living at the time in Texas. And she invited me. I just loved coming ever since. It was a fun community. I was able to learn about Jesus. I was able to make more friends off of it. And that's why I just come to Clover Parks all the time as well. Just the community of just building friends and knowing people's stories. They're like a mentor. They walk along beside you with, you know, your story and your life, and they're a mentor on like different ways on like how you should react in a situation, or give you advice on like how to live, you know, in the way Jesus would live. And so I think a Young Life leader is important because they're a mentor.
A favorite memory of mine would be the summer of 2024 during our Young Life camp, where I said yes to Jesus. A lot of emotions were definitely shown, but obviously emotions of happiness and joy, and I felt like I've accomplished a really big goal of mine during that time. My Young Life leaders have impacted my life by obviously being a part of it. They've seen the good and bad of me, you know. I've definitely shown most of those sides to my Young Life leader, Jeremy. He's been there for me for like quite a while, since I first started coming to Young Life. I started coming to Young Life because of my oldest brother, Richard. He kind of took us everywhere, and I was introduced my freshman year. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I used to come because I thought I had to, but now I come because I like to and I want to.
He's always there for you, even if you're not really with him at the time. Even if you don't think that you need Jesus right at that moment, Jesus will still be there with you. Jesus to me is kind of like a therapist to me, really. When I feel like life is going bad, or I feel like I don't know where to go, he really clears up the fog in my mind and sets a clear direction for me to go. I come to Young Life because it's a place where I can feel comfortable and safe while having fun, and I can also learn about Jesus. Like, I can comfortably share my ideas, like my crazy food concoctions, or just like have a fun debate with other friends there. My Young Life leaders are very important to me because they're a representation of how I can be more like Jesus. They really know the word really well, and they use it in their lives, and they show us examples And like even with us, they show examples of us. They show examples of how they use Jesus in our lives, and they communicate Jesus to us very well. It makes me want to dive deeper into the Word and learn more about God so I can walk with God better in my life.
He knew them by name. He called them by name to follow him. And he even renamed them at some points. And when you call someone by name, it shows that you know more than just the basics. You know who they are. You know what's going on in their lives usually. And when students are known by name, like I know with my students, they feel like they're seen. They feel like they're being listened to and they're being valued. It's not just me walking into their life and then walking out, it's me spending time with them. And I have multiple students who have some complicated names to some extent. I'm still learning them, but I always stress that it's important for me to know how to say their name because that's who they are.